Now, I've told you, man, for a while now. I've told you, man, for a long time now that I won't be making any definitive opinions until more time has passed and until I've seen more games. But tonight, you guys, I got the time I needed. Things I've been thinking about, that I've been examining, really looking back at, were crystal clear tonight. Crystal clear tonight. And tonight, I have to criticize Frank Lampard. I have to criticize certain players too, and I have to criticize the board and the strategy as well. If you think this is solely on Frank Lampard, I'm even not going to get started on that, to be honest. If you think that Tuchel or Nagelsmann coming in here with the same set of players is going to absolutely transform them, you got another thing coming, yeah? But before I get into things, you guys, I want to start off by speaking about Frank Lampard and some of the mistakes, the mistakes, the overzealousness, the panic, the lack of control. And for me, again, how many times have I seen this and seen this and seen this? A point that's never ever addressed because people are focusing on formations and patterns of play, as if patterns of play is a valid criticism behind why things are turning sour right now. As if it's patterns of play that people can't even explain because they don't know. Don't even get me started on that right now, yeah? Flipping hell. But it's the overzealousness. The final 20 minutes, the final 25 minutes, we play with no control, and it's obvious to see why we created absolutely nothing. With subs, they're supposed to come on, affect the game, increase that momentum, and of course, create more danger against the opposition. And what did I see? I see Werner and Tammy Abraham making the same runs, making the same runs, no link-up play, looking like two individuals on the pitch, trying to run in behind. Like, what? I was thinking to myself, it doesn't make sense. Against Barnsley, and I don't care about the opposition, it's about the application and how we played. The reason why Havertz got a hat-trick in that game was because he was playing off of a striker. If you're going to play with two up front, you want your strikers playing off each other, which is one thing we have not seen Tammy or Werner do. So, manager, you should have left Kai on if you're planning to play two up front, because that's the only way it works. You're taking off Hudson-Odoi that can bring you that sense of control, because even though we deserved to lose the game and Leicester found it easy, we still created moments of danger, and it's the manager's job to intensify that danger, increase it, and bring the new threats. But, to just change styles completely, it's absolutely changed the style, just killed every momentum, made it easy right at the end. We did absolutely nothing. Absolutely nothing. What is happening? Hudson-Odoi should have been on there, on the left-hand side, if you're bringing on Ziyech. Let these guys tire Leicester City, control the game, play in their half. Patience. But this constant forcing, we look like kids. And this is why, when we lose, we really lose. Looks like we get humbled because we move like kids, you guys. Wow, it's mad. This game today, I see 3 different formations. I'm thinking straight away from the lineup, cover doesn't work in the base. Why are we forcing 4-3-3 then? This could have been a time for a 3-4-3. This could have been a time to, play more compact, even more defensively. If you know that cover in the system where the CDM has to be that lone guy that moves in front of the midfield line to progress the ball, if you know that he can't really do that because off the ball defensively, he's got zero awareness, terrible off the ball defensively, doesn't even do much defensively, to be honest. I'm seeing this guy giving away the ball unmarked. Can't find Pulisic down the left-hand side with the crossfield ball. I'm thinking, what? But the thing is, the pros and their cons. The pros and cons. And if you're going to play him there, you have to be more compact. You got Kai alongside, who's still struggling, not really done much at all this season. Let's keep it real. Like maybe 1 or 2 nice little bit of skills in the game, and nothing else after that. Mason Mount's got to do the bitch work for everyone. It's disjointed. There's no cohesion. And it's no surprise why we get picked off easily. I mean, in the first half, I'm seeing how many shots from outside the box from Leicester City. In between our lines, there's no one there covering zones, no one there closing the spaces down. And of course, when you've got cover there, we know he can't do that. So why expect and hope for the impossible? There should have been a game plan where we're even just playing more compact and on the counter-attack, because getting the results now is key. It is key, because every single time we don't get a result, that's another player's confidence going down. That's another player who's not playing to their best ability. Wow, it's mad, and I was really disappointed in Frank today, I'm not going to lie. I just think the setup was wrong, and yeah, things kind of changed a little bit, rectified when we played 4-2-3-1 in the end, but in my head I was thinking, is this guy just like listening to whatever's like being like shouted on the timeline? You know, oh, play diamond, play 2 up front, you know, play 4-2-3-1. I saw formations that had Mason and Cover together in a pivot, as if that was ever going to do anything. I'm hoping that my manager's not looking on the TL for knowledge on this stuff, because please, you know, it was obvious that it was going to be a real struggle because you've got 2 attacking guys in the base. What are you expecting? But here's the thing, and this is where now, because it's a collective thing, it's about painting the picture behind why things aren't happening, why we're underperforming. It's not solely down to one man, and this notion, this nonsense notion has to go, bruv, because if Tuchel comes, if Nagelsmann comes with the same sets of players right now, don't be telling me next season when they can make signings. No. For right now, because man want Lampard out, do you really think with this squad, not the first 11, but with this squad, these guys are doing anything? Of course not. And for me, this is where the transfer strategy now comes into play. And of course, it's not me saying this because I knew from day one. Of course, so this is hindsight. At least I'm honest to say that. I'm not going to be gassing up XYZ. It's pure hindsight, but it's quite clear and obvious the lack of a CDM. It kills us. You can't sign Tuchel without one. You can't sign Nagelsmann without one, because this is the Premier League. It's the Premier League. Intensity, strength, pace. Your midfield needs to have that. They need to match that. And when Kante's out this team, we look weak. We look poor. We cannot do anything. And it gets you thinking, why was there not a priority to spend big on a CDM in this area? A Partey, a Rice, a Zakaria, players we're looking at. Instead, the whole stupid plan was to sell off players first, fund the moves and raise the money to make the signings. What? I mean, come on. I mean, over the past few years, we've been struggling to let go of anyone. I mean, guys like Bakayoko have been on the books. These guys have been collecting their wages over the years. We can't get rid of them. And you're telling me you want to sign more attacking players when a CDM was key and imperative. In most of our games, if we had that guy, things become extremely different. The pace, the power, the intensity, the things we miss when Kante isn't playing. It's mad. It's mad. And I'm saying my shit, you guys. If you think Tuchel, Nagelsmann, whatever comes with the same squads, I mean, the minute injuries come to 1, 2, 3 players, we don't look that good because the rest are not good enough. All these guys that have got Avies of Jorginho and Cover, whatever. I mean, that is a beautiful irony to me. You know, you're going to blame the manager for justifiably some poor tactical decisions, some overzealousness, this forcefulness every single time, play with no control. We lost that tempo against Leicester. Most times we lose is because the tempo isn't with us, and it's the same mistakes being made. But a big reason for why things are hard, is not only because of patterns of play and all that nonsense, but it's the actual individual ability of some of these guys. They're not bad. They're not shit players, of course not. I'll be stupid to say that. Your Georges, your Covers, they're not shit at all. Come on now. But they do not suit this style of football. They don't suit an expansive style of football where you're playing fast. You're playing between the lines. You need your players to play balls quickly over the top to strikers. I mean, my God, that's what was screaming out to me the most. I've been saying this throughout the season, and this game was just fucking obvious. How many times is Tammy and Werner trying to make quick runs in behind and no one's playing the ball over the top, not playing it quickly enough? No wonder our strikers don't ever do that well at times. Flipping hell, man. It's mad. It's mad. But even just looking at some of the players too, I mean, in hindsight, of course, but it seems like maybe we could have done with one less attacking player to have signed that CDM. I mean, guys like Purley, Hudson, Werner, they all operate on that left side channel as like inside forwards. We've got 3 of them. You know, I look at Pulisic and Werner, they kind of do the same thing. I mean, of course, Pulisic's got that incredible individual dribbling ability, of course. But fundamentally, it's about starting on the left and breaking the lines, running inside the box like we were seeing Pulisic doing last season when he was banging in the goals. To sign someone else that kind of does the same thing but can't really do his thing because of a billion reasons behind why his form's so terrible, how is that helping anything? Honestly, you guys, right now, things look peak. You know, things look a bit grim. It feels like if we're going to do a single thing to get these points back, I don't know if the style of football right now, we can even try and get this football ready. I mean, we've got how many games coming in the next 3 days now? How many games? And it's just like whenever Kante is out, we become even more susceptible to being weak, to being porous, and to allowing these teams to win. Because I think for me, Leicester City, it wasn't that hard for them. I don't care that their first goal was a fluke. I don't care that, you know, they profited off some poor individual defending as well. You know, Reece James, of course, he should have followed the run of Harvey Barnes, but at the same time, from a player's perspective, he's probably thinking, I'm expecting my defender to handle that situation, but it's Rudiger, and you know he's not going to handle it. How many times are they on the counter-attack? How many times did he expose his poor 1v1 defending on his ass? How many times? Another player that reflects is overzealous, rush, just no quality football sometimes. And it's frustrating because in this game today, there were moments of great football between the lines. A lot of them always kick-started from Mason Mount, starting the move, getting that tempo ready. But I'm looking at other guys, Kai, not good again. And it's mad because, you know, from the TO and from what I'm reading on these videos and posts and stuff, all you have to do is play Kai as a 10 and he's going to be sick and start just balling out again. I mean, come on, man. You know, Kai's issues are deeper. I'm starting to feel like, are we going to even see this guy till next season? Because it feels like the tempo is a bit too fast for him at this point in time. You know, playing Kai again, I mean, you kind of have to. Who else are you going to use ahead? Because there isn't that option. There isn't that strength. There isn't that figure in the midfield that's going to bring the drive or do anything. Yeah, it feels like the experiment hasn't worked in the sense that you can't do this stuff without pre-season. And I know people are gonna, you know, some people are gonna say absolute shit about downplaying pre-season, but what are you talking about? It's like a full 5-week period where you're conditioning, working on tactics, plays. You're playing how many games in that period? There's a big reason why it's very important every season. But during the madness that this year is, you know, we signed so many players, you know, in attacking positions too, without having the foundations perfect, because once injuries or fatigue or form affect certain guys, things start to go downhill, man. Yes, it's an absolute mad one. I'm going to have to watch this stupid game again because more is going to be revealed. And I even feel like I wasn't able to express myself fully because with games like this where so many emotions, you know, so many moments, I mean, it's hard to just perfectly articulate yourself in a way that is true to myself and isn't that boring, reactionary, pandering stuff that people love to do on this platform, yeah, to profit off, which I'm just not about. So you guys expect there to be videos tomorrow. I'm going to do a live stream. I want to have some man on so we can talk about what the hell is happening, share some ideas, learn some new insights. But yeah, see you in a bit, yeah? Fucking hell, man.